What's up, y'all? Welcome to the NBA Weekly Post Game. This is where we share our views on the latest trending topics within the NBA. My name is Sha.
And I'm Evay, and we have a lot to talk about. In this episode, we're going to give you our player of the week. We're going to talk about the All-Star first return voting results. We're going to talk about the Boston Celtics and what's going on with their roster. And we're going to give you and discuss our tweet of the week. Let's get started.
My player of the week is RJ Barrett. What? Now look, RJ Barrett missed 6 games in protocols, came back and had a horrible shooting night against the Boston Celtics, and on national TV at that. Totally embarrassed. The New York Knicks were basically booed out of their own arena, and RJ Barrett still had enough heart and guts to hit the game-winning 3-ball after being down by 25 points. Way to go, RJ. He is my player of the week.
That's a good one. Good for him. And that was exciting. Yeah. And he needed that for his boost of confidence. So good for him. Mine is stemming from the West Coast. Los Angeles Laker Malik Monk is my player of the week. He is actually the LA Lakers' current unicorn. Can we just say that? He has been playing phenomenal. He's reliable on shooting and he's reliable on defense. And the Lakers need more defensive strength. So he covers that. The Lakers are actually reaping the benefits of his improved 3-point shooting year over year. They're reaping the benefits of that. Since Malik Monk has started, because he went from bench to starting on the Los Angeles Lakers roster, he started his first game with the Lakers. I want to say it was on December 25th. And since then, he's putting up 20 plus points. He is amazing at catch and shoot. And I really like to watch him and LeBron James go back and forth in that tandem that they have when they're playing. So Malik Monk has actually revitalized, in my opinion, the standing of the Los Angeles Lakers in the West. And without him, they would be like probably out of contention altogether. So yeah, Malik Monk is my player of the week.
Yeah, Monk is balling. He's like, look, I never played in LA, but I've been here before. You can tell he is not afraid of the stage in Los Angeles at all. So the NBA All-Star preliminary results are in finally. And I think we should mention this is the fan result. We know the media gets 25%. And the players get another 25%. But the fans, okay, the ones who watch and patronize the game, we get 50%. Now, I was looking at some of these results, and I tried to compare them to who I initially picked. I don't know. How's your list looking?
Like I picked everybody. My list, my initial all-star picks are actually on the list.
All right, so let's take a look.
So not only do I think they should be there, also the fans do too.
All right, so cool. So who did you have for your West starters?
Okay, so my West starters, I had Curry, Ja Morant, LeBron James, Draymond Green, and Karl Anthony Towns for my starters.
Ooh, okay. And I had Stephen Curry, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, so I was really excited about that. And then also some of my reserves showed up too for the West. I had Paul George, he's on the list. I had Joker, Nikola Jokic, and I had DeAndre Ayton. And he's also there as well. So I was like, yeah, see people, y'all see what I see. Yeah.
Okay. And I had for my reserves, I had Ja Morant, Devin Booker, Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Ayton, and Brandon Ingram, who didn't really show up at all.
Yeah.
Now, as it relates to the Eastern Conference, who did you have as your Eastern Conference starters?
Clearly, DeMar DeRozan. Excuse me. Bold prediction here. MVP. Okay, anyway. I had DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Embiid, and Tyler Hero. Yes, I had Tyler Hero.
All right, cool. And I had Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Embiid. I mean, hey, everybody sees it the way that I see it too. The way that we see it.
If you're watching the games, we all see the same thing in some regard, right? And then some of my reserves, I had LaMelo Ball. I also had Lonzo, but he didn't show up. I had Trae Young, I had Zach LaVine, and I had Jason Tatum. So, yeah.
Okay. And then I had Tyler Hero, Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum, Jared Allen.
He was there.
And Chris Middleton. Yeah.
Chris Middleton?
Nah, Chris Middleton didn't show up.
Right. Chris Middleton didn't make it. That's okay, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was really good. But there were some surprises on this list as well that I was like, really?
Right. Okay, let me get into my first surprise for the Western Conference. Why was Anthony Davis on the list?
Oh, oh, you know
That's a
what?
serious question. Anthony Davis, now come on. First of all, he's not having the same season he had when they won the championship. Why does he have almost 600,000 votes?
You know what though? Let me tell you, if you look at the list, the LA Lakers have 4 players on the list. And when I saw that, I said they must have bots voting for them because there is no way I'm gonna have to. Anthony Davis now, fans. You know what though? That's why the other 50% is going to be from the media and from the players. Because I can tell you right now,
Mm-mm.
why waste the vote on somebody who ain't going to be able to show up? Why do that?
Right.
Which leads me to my second surprise. Klay Thompson, stop it.
Oh, disagree with you on that.
No, 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 no. He hasn't played. My problem with him, not that he's not worthy, maybe, but he hasn't played in 2 seasons. How do you put him as an all-star for this season when he hasn't stepped foot on the court? And when he does, because I know he will, it still will not warrant for me the number of votes that he has right now. Like we're talking about voting first fan votes for somebody who has not even played this season. Can we reserve his vote for the next season when he's played more games than he hasn't? My point is this. NBA should be ashamed of themselves for even having him on the list to be voted. So I blame the NBA for that because he hasn't played. He has been out for 2 seasons. Stop it. Not Klay Thompson. Not this time. Not this
Mm.
time. And not that he cannot get it in the future. But right now, that 300,000 votes could have been for somebody else. I just don't think Klay Thompson should be on this list.
Well, I don't have a problem with Klay Thompson being on the list because I think, fans know what he's capable of. And Klay Thompson is going to be his old self. And the NBA left him off of the NBA 75.
We're not talking about 75. We're talking about first fans
I'm just
returning.
saying they left him off of the 75. He took offense to that.
I
I'm
can see
glad
it.
that he was on the ballot, and I think he deserves to be there. We're going to see something fantastic from Klay Thompson this season. The fans know it, and by the time the All-Star game is to be played, he's going to show out and show up. Watch this.
And all that sounds great. What I am saying right now, this first set of voting results should not show Klay Thompson on the list. Now, if the final results have him on the list because he has played games this season, I get it. But to show up now, no, not for me.
Mm. Okay, cool. I
Mhm.
don't have a problem with it, but I do have a problem with Carmelo Anthony being on this list. That is a nostalgia award. No way. Carmelo Anthony got 319,000 votes from the fans. I'm not sure why. Oh, no. Carmelo, come on. Carmelo does not belong on this list.
It's the Lakers bots. They they got bots. The Lakers organization have bots. Carmelo Anthony 80. Stop.
Mm-mm.
Speaking of nostalgia, LaMarcus Aldridge.
I know. I said, is this a typo? Who? LaMarcus Aldridge? No way. How
Stop
many he get?
it.
111,000 votes? Stop it.
Not, it's just really y'all. That's his family. Got it. Okay. I guess.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I don't know who voted for Damian Lillard to be on this
That's
list.
what I'm talking. His family.
There's no way Damian Lillard earned 211,000 All-Star votes. No way. The way the Portland Trail Blazers are playing and the way he even started the season. No way.
Mhm.
Damian Lillard is not an All-Star this season.
And I'm gonna go back to my first thought. Kyrie Irving should not
Mm.
be on the list at this time. I just you I just have a hard time with players taking up voting ballots for people who are actually playing right now. Now, I'm not saying that he can't show up on the final results, but we're talking about the first preliminary results. I just don't like to see that Kyrie Irving is there and he hasn't played this season. All-Star is seasonal, right? It's not, what I think they should be and what they did last season. It's what's currently happening right now. And he's not currently happening right now. Now, he will, as we probably get to the final voting date, but not right now. Not on this preliminary vote. I feel the same way about it. I just don't know why he's here.
Similar to the Klay Thompson vote, I don't have a problem with Kyrie Irving because we know what he is capable of doing. He belongs on the ballot.
That's nostalgia. That's what it is. So then that's why this is a popularity contest. It has to be, because if it was really based off of current play, current production, Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving would not be showing up on the list on this list. They may show up on a final list, but not on this one, and not with this number of votes. So yeah, no.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then my final surprise is Derrick Rose. What? Derrick Rose, there's no way he got 232,000 All-Star votes. There's no way. The Knicks are not playing great. Matter of fact, he's even out right now. Derrick Rose is not an All-Star. That's, again, nostalgia.
This surprise is a pleasant surprise. I was happy to see Andrew Wiggins on the All-Star voting list. So good for him. And he is actually right now playing to his round one first pick form, right? He didn't necessarily, flourish when he was with the Timberwolves. But now being with the Golden State Warriors, it is great to see him flourish in his position on that roster. So yeah, I was happy to see Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, me too. And along those lines, I was actually surprised to see LaMelo Ball. I know you picked him, but I was like, And then also Bridges in a small market, happy to see him, and Anthony Edwards as well.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at Garland being on the list either, from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So yeah, they got some really great new players that are now showing up, which I'm happy about, because I can tell you right now, there are at least 5 to 7 players that are on here for nostalgia's sake. Got it.
I know. And then also Fred VanVleet, happy to see him north of the border. A lot of times the Raptors get forgotten about. Happy to see Fred VanVleet get some votes.
Yeah, no, that's really good. The list overall, the list for me, based on how fans are voting, I can get on board with. I'm like, that's pretty good. But we talked about the ones where we were like, really, y'all you being funny. So yeah, but no,
Yeah, there are a couple of players I think are missing from the list. And the first one that comes to mind is Domantas Sabonis.
Oh yeah.
Why is he not? I just don't understand how he didn't make it, but we sitting up here looking at LaMarcus Aldridge and Carmelo Anthony. It blows me away.
If we're talking about people that are making an impact, especially an impact on those teams that may not be top of the standing in their conference, but you got players on here that their team is not top of the standing, but they're doing really great work with their organization. If you're going to put Carmelo Anthony, if you're going to put LaMarcus Aldridge, I don't know why DeJounte Murray is not showing up.
Oh, yeah.
From the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, nobody's watching the Spurs? Oh,
no.
Sorry. Yeah, okay.
Speaking of surprises and who's missing, I have a problem with Brandon Ingram not making the list. And that goes right along with DeJounte Murray not making it in the small markets and not getting exposure. Surprise. However, Bradley Beal, where is he? Where's Bradley Beal? I mean, 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. You know how he can take over a game? He's an all-star.
Well, he still got time to get votes, I guess.
As it stands right now, the team captains will be Kevin Durant, who has received the most votes, and Steph Curry. And this will be the first year. And LeBron James. If it stays like this, if the game started tomorrow, LeBron James would not be the top vote getter. What's going on?
I can't wait to the final results. It would not surprise me if those Los Angeles Lakers bots don't get on it. It wouldn't even surprise me.
My God. You know why we had to just put Malik Monk on this list too? Can we get some votes for Monk?
I mean, okay, if we're talking about some of the Lakers that need to be on here, I can tell you right now that AD and Carmelo Anthony's spot should be Malik Monk. Like, what are we really looking at? So that's why I'm glad it's only 50% of the fans. I would love to see what the other 25% are from the sports media analysts and what's the other 25? And the players, right? But yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Before we go on, I just want to say DeJounte Murray, who was not selected so far, he tweeted that he is happy to see others succeed. Now that I think about it, was that a dig?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, he maybe not because he believes he should be on there, which I think everybody wants to be on it, right? But probably that he's seeing new faces. That's what's making it exciting for me. I want to see new faces. I want to see new faces. So no, I'm not excited to see LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm sorry. You've been there, done that. All of these up and coming players that are doing phenomenal in their markets, and we're looking at
I know.
Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony,
I don't
stop it.
understand it. Is he game? Is he game changing right now with the
No,
Lakers?
no.
That's my point. So yeah, no, At this point, where's Dylan Brooks? I mean, we can go on and on. Jaren Jackson Jr. I can't. What?
Yeah, yeah.
Anthony, put him on there. What I'm saying is, are they these people? Are they changing the game? No, that's what I'm saying. These votes from the fans, they're nostalgia. Oh, I love them. You loved their game,
Right.
not this current game. So.
All right, so you guys know we are always on Twitter, and this particular time we found a post from Celtics blog that asked us, where are you on the Celtics? They gave us 4 options, and we are going to dive into them right now. Okay, so the first option is to stay the course. Second, tweaks are needed. Third one is trade anyone but the Jays. And then lastly, is it tanking time? Where are you, Evay?
I say tweaks are needed. Tweaks are needed, and I'm going to say it again, especially to their point guard position. I think they need someone that's a little bit more solid. They need a floor general. Now, I know that Marcus Smart has been trying to hold it down, and I thought Dennis Schroeder would say, I'm gonna show y'all season. He ain't showing us nothing. So, I know he is regretting that he gave up that big contract.
Yeah.
And I think this is where he's going to be sitting with this little contract, but it ain't him. They need someone who's going to be a floor general. Where is the Chris Paul for the Boston Celtics? They need that. So they need to make some tweaks. I also think that the Jays, as much as I like both of them, I don't think they can coexist. I don't think they can coexist. So that's why I say tweaks are needed. I think one of the Jays need to be traded.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. So they can get another piece that's going to benefit. It's almost like if one's doing well, the other barely does well. If the other one does well, then the other one can't get on track. It's just something about they don't seem to connect. Unlike when you watch the stars like on the Bulls, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, they can both get theirs equally when they're playing. I don't always see that with the Jays on the Boston Celtics, and I think that's what's missing from them.
Yeah, because DeMar and Zach, they're each averaging 26 points.
That's my point. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe tweaks are needed as well,
Mhm.
and we have to start at the top and fire Ime Udoka. I have been saying this for some time now. The public humiliation of the players, it has to stop. When will Coach Udoka realize that that does not work for this group of guys? You can't just keep doing that. You're
I don't
clearly
like
not
it.
getting the results that you expect by trashing them in the media. I don't like it. And I think the Celtics should hire Mark Jackson, and here's why.
Uh-oh.
Clearly, he knows how to develop and nurture young talent, hence Steph Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson. Been there, done that. Mark Jackson would be perfect for the Boston Celtics. It's a large market, lots of responsibility. Mark Jackson is ready for that next level. And I've been pushing for Mark Jackson for
Yeah.
some time now. Here's a great opportunity to kick Ime Udoka out. Brad Stevens, are you listening to this? Can we hire Mark Jackson, please? Just need a new
Yeah.
face. They need a new face and a new voice. Another tweak that I think they need to make is they need to keep Jason and Jalen and Robert Williams III. I think that's a potential big 3 for the Boston Celtics, but they got to have the right leader,
Yeah.
to cultivate that in that whole environment in the Boston Celtics culture. They just need a new culture. And that goes back to firing Coach Udoka. I think everybody else on the roster is disposable at this
Mhm.
point. I mean, your Enos Freedoms, your Grant Williams, your Al Horfords, and even Marcus Smart. I think they need to do something with them. And you've been saying it, and keep those 3 players, Jason Jalen and Robert Williams III.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I just something needs to happen. It's sad to see. I don't like it. Brad Stevens, while you're waiting for Udoka's replacement, come on down and get back on the bench. Get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
They that coaching style, at least what Brad didn't do was expose them negatively
Right.
in the media. He didn't do that. So
Yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of Brad Stevens on
no.
the sideline, but I'm telling you, I would welcome him right now. I come in interim, right now while
Yeah,
we
yeah.
wait for him to get Mark Jackson's resume and get him hired up for the Boston Celtics.
It's funny on this particular tweet. There's some comments that says, "Where is the option for fire the coach?"
Oh, see what I'm saying? Yes.
Where is
Yeah.
that option? Because that's the one that people were really waiting for. And I'm quite sure, and based on the results of this particular post, I'm quite sure that will probably have more than 52% of the votes. Because right now, the results say trade anyone but the Jays has the higher number of voting, where fans are like, no, keep the Jays. But I bet you if you put that coach, fire the coach, he would have had 98% of the
Yeah,
votes.
exactly. All right, so shout out to the Celtics blog.
Yeah.
All right, so we found a post from Chris Kirschner regarding the Atlanta Hawks, and Trae Young made some decent comments about his team, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the leading point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. And basically, Trae Young said that he believes the Atlanta Hawks can turn this season around. And if you look at the standings, he said, look, there are a lot of teams with the same amount of losses as us. We are still in the mix, and he believes that they can turn this thing around. What are your thoughts on that?
He's right. There are other teams with similar loss stats as them, and they're also at the bottom of the East. They're also at the bottom. However, I understand the hope that he wants to, instill in himself and also in his roster. They made it. They did pretty good last season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Hawks were really well. But now, they're struggling this season. Again, the normal two injuries, health and safety protocols. I mean, the normal two, right? So, unfortunately, if they do turn it around, they're going to have to do it on the back of defense that they need to kind of figure out how to get. So, if y'all can get some defense going on, maybe you can turn it around. But right now,
Well,
and and I think that the Hawks are suffering from the new rule
mm.
where the referees are not calling those types of fouls. I forget what they're called, but they're not getting those fouls. And Trae Young in the game recently tried it, and it didn't happen. Because last season he would have been at the free throw line, but this season they're like, nope.
Well,
Continue
for
to play.
me, no, for me, I'm like, hey, as many praises as we sung for Nate McMillan, I'm
Yeah.
saying keep the same energy that
Yep.
we had last season for Nate in the Hawks when he was placed in the head coaching position. He did really well. If you look at it last season, the Hawks were 18-20 at this same juncture of the season. I'm not worried about them. If they could just figure out how to play some defense, and Trae Young could get his shot going and get the other players involved, I think they're going to be okay. Last season, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, but they were They were much higher in the ranking. Right now, what they are looking at is at least to make the play-in tournament, which can in turn give them an opportunity to make it to the postseason. But their drive right now is to please make it to a solid play-in tournament spot, and you want to be 7-8 by the time the play-in tournament began. So,
Well, I'm just not worried about them, though. There is no cause for concern, only because I'm looking at last season's success. And they didn't really add any new bodies. I think the Atlanta Hawks were one of the only teams who kept the same squad because they're probably thinking, hey, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals with this group of guys. We got Nate McMillan, which will be his official first full season with the Hawks. I think he'll be okay. I think he's out on protocols right now, but once he gets back, and they played a ton of games with a bunch of players who were on 10 days. I think Trae Young, he was quoted as saying he looked up and he didn't know any of his guys.
I read that too. Yeah, I read that too.
How are you supposed to win games?
That's fine. So hopefully when they become semi-healthy again, but we're talking about the Hawks competing for a playing spot with teams like the New York Knicks, the Boston Celtics, the Washington Wizards, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about, he has to be speaking about the play-in tournament because he cannot be talking about top 6 seed in the East. Can't be. So playing tournament discussion, yes, you're right. Everybody down there, y'all about the same in losses. I get it. That's fine. So you're gonna have to work for it because these teams are trying to do it as well. And I just don't. Hopefully, once they become semi-healthy, because who's 100% healthy at this point. But once they become semi-healthy, maybe they can move up a little bit into the rankings and secure a spot in the playing tournament. But I see that if they were to go anywhere, that would be the furthest that they would go from the first step.
Yeah, definitely play-in tournament for sure.
Mhm.
But hey, anything can happen in play-in. I mean,
Yeah,
I
let me
think
tell
we
you.
witnessed that last season as well.
Yeah, you're right. Go Hawks.
So if Trey Young and the Atlanta Hawks are going to turn it around, they're going to have to do it against these next 5 teams. I mean, they got a tough stretch. They got Miami Heat back to back.
Mm.
Okay. And then they play the New York Knicks. They go to Milwaukee. And then, oh my goodness, they play the young Gunners from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tough stretch.
That's a tough stretch. Oh, maybe on the next 5 because I don't see it with this 5. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I actually have them going 2
Mm-mm.
and 3 on this stretch, losing to the
Mm-mm.
Miami Heat. They play them back to back. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, they probably can't beat them. And the way Minnesota's playing right now, and they
Mm-mm.
finally got their big 3 back. I hate the Minnesota Timberwolves have a big 3.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
Well, let me
Yeah,
make sure I'm on the same page with you. Carl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell.
absolutely. Yeah. So I have the Hawks losing to them. So yeah, this is a tough stretch. But yeah, maybe the next 5.
All right, y'all. That's all we got. And until next time, goodbye.
Peace out.